Welcome to the RoNASCAR Cup Series on Grouch Racing Network. Hello everyone, my name is Mr. Groucho Funny and welcome to the Daytona International Speedway where we surely have an instant classic on our hands. Today we kick off the 2026 season in the RoNASCAR Cup Series and only one car will head to that victory lane that you see in the infield. We got 14 cars in this field, all representing different teams, manufacturers, and legends of the sport. It's time to see who will take the crown in the inaugural season of the RoNASCAR Cup Series. Let's take a look at your ones to watch for today, starting with the Hendrick Motorsports number 9 of Chase Elliott. He was looking fast all day in practice and ended up qualifying on the pole position for today's race. He starts first. Next we have Denny Hamlin, who was fast all day in practice just like Chase Elliott. He was your fastest in practice, recorded the best lap time, and he will start second. The last one to watch for is the 21 Wood Brothers Ford of Josh Berry, who crashed in qualifying, and he will start in the back. And now it's time to get the most famous words in motorsports.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops, God bless America, and gentlemen, start your engine!
Now it's time to get your Daytona 500 starting lineup. In row 1, we have the Hendrick Motorsports Chevrolet of Chase Elliott, and on the outside, the number 11 JGR Toyota of Denny Hamlin. In row 2, we've got one of today's favorites, Kyle Busch, to his outside, Tyler Reddick. In row 3, the 12 of Ryan Blaney, inside the 34 of Todd Gilliland. In row 4, we've got Christopher Bell in the 20 and Chris Buescher in the 17. In row 5, we've got Darrell Bubba Wallace and William Byron. Row 6 is sporting JGR newcomer Chase Briscoe, and to his outside, Carson Hocevar. And finally, in row 7, we have the 6 of Brad Keselowski alongside a legendary Wood Brothers team with Josh Berry. The drivers have finished their pace laps, and here they come, off turn 4, and we are green flag racing here in Daytona. Chase Elliott is out to a strong lead early here in Daytona with Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin behind. Now here comes Denny Hamlin to try and give a push to the 9, but the 9's going to move to the middle lane, and that'll open the door for the 8 of Kyle Busch. Kyle now looking inside on the 9. It's going to be a race to the line to see who leads the first lap, but I believe it will be the 9 of Chase Elliott leading here in Daytona. Now we took a look at the 8 of Kyle Busch, who is now on the inside lane being pushed by Ryan Blaney as the 9 moves down to the middle lane. Here comes the 8 of Kyle Busch, and he will take the lead from the 9 here in Daytona. Now onto the back straightaway, the 8 now with a sizable lead over the 9, but the 9 is going to come back on the middle lane being pushed by the 45 of Tyler Reddick. Now we take a look at the 34 of Todd Gilliland back in the back of the pack. There's plenty of battles going on through the field, and now the 8 being pushed by the 12 is going to re-solidify his lead over the 9. And here we come through turns 3 and 4. Now we take another look back at the back of the pack with Todd Gilliland. And now the 8 of Kyle Busch coming down to lead lap number 2. Now through the tryover, the 9 is going to try and take another look for the lead, this time on the outside lane, joining up with the 11 of Denny Hamlin, who has now dropped out of the top 5. And now the 8 moves up to the middle lane with Ryan Blaney now in tow at the bottom lane. And he will take control of this race, being pushed by the 23 of Bubba Wallace. Now the 8 moves up to the top lane as we see a big top lane forming, 5 or 6 cars. Now the 8 moves back down to the middle lane, but he's got no help. That'll allow the 9 of Chase Elliott to get by with the 12 on his upside. And now the 9 of Chase Elliott with a big push from Denny Hamlin will almost take the lead, and now Ryan Blaney is still in the lead, now coming onto the trioval on lap 3. Big push from Tyler Reddick in the middle will give the 8 a little bit of a push, but still that won't be any match for that big outside lane. Chase Elliott leads lap 3. Now with 7 to go in stage number 1, the outside lane still dominating, but here comes the 12 and the 23 on the inside. They will take the lead now. 1-2 go Blaney and Wallace. As we take a look again, looks like the middle lane is starting to disperse, trying to get into the outside and inside lanes with Chase Elliott currently in the lead, but Ryan Blaney is just powerful on that inside lane with the 23. Expect them to be the dominant lane here in Daytona. Now the 12 moving up to the middle lane. That's an interesting move. It'll open up the door for the 23 of Bubba Wallace as the 9 comes through to lead lap number 4. As here we see Todd Gilliland kind of dispersing on that outside lane as we see coming into turns 1 and 2. And now the 45 and the 8 tangle. Now it's the 24, the 12, the 23. Big crash on the turns 1 and 2. Caution is out. And the 23 and the 9 are in the wall. Big damage on that 9 car as the 21 is involved in it as well as the 34. Huge crash on the back straightaway and turns 1 and 2 there. The 19, huge hit. The 9 has a lot of damage, as well as the 45 there wedged into turns 3 and 4. Let's take another look at this crash. It looked like the 45 tried to go low on the 8 and that hooked him, and that just caused the whole field almost to get tied up in this wreck. Big damage on the 9 for sure. Let's take a look from Todd Gilliland's angle as it just looks like, yep, the 45 and the 8 got together, and then that caused the 24 to get into the 8. I'm sorry, the 8 to get into the 24, and then just everything unfolded from there. As you can see, the 8 hooked the 12 and the 23 as well. Didn't know he was there. Kozlowski's involved. Blaney getting damages done on pit road. But the cleanup crew was able to get it done quickly. And here we go. Back green at Daytona with the 8 and the 12 leading us to the green flag. The 8's going to choose the middle lane on the restart now with Ryan Blaney on his outside and the 20 of Christopher Bell on his inside. Sorry about that. But the 8 is choosing the middle lane here on lap 7 now. And now he'll slide up to the outside, now back down to the middle lane. Ryan Blaney getting a pretty good run on that outside lane, and the 8 will come up to block him and slot in line, and I guess the 8 will choose the outside lane. As there's contact, the 17 into the outside wall, now back down to the 24, the 34 involved as well. Will they be able to keep it straight? It looks like they will. 4 wide now for second. They'll be able to calm it down here as the 12 gets past them, and now it's only 3 wide, but they're still fighting for that 3rd and 4th place position back there. Now Denny Hamlin on the inside. There's more contact in the back. It's the 24 and the 77. It hasn't calmed down yet. The 77 gets into the 24. The 24 into the outside wall with the 77 involved as well. Caution now out again here in Daytona. Let's take a look at this replay. Honestly, it just looks like the 24 just came down into the 77. And he'll kind of take a lick there to the outside wall. He'll definitely have to get some repairs for that. 77 looks to be unscathed as the 24 now getting repairs in the infield. But now we will go ahead and take the green flag once again here in Daytona. Kyle Busch and Ryan Blaney again lead us to the green flag. 1 lap to go here in stage 1, and Kyle Busch currently in control with the 12 and the 20 behind. Now into turn 1, the 8 will leave the door open for the 20, and he will try and make his move to the inside. Now onto the back straightaway, the 20 now challenging for the lead, but now the 12 is in the middle lane, but not a ton of help for either lane. And the 12 will slide up behind the 8 car, and he will once again retain the lead. It looks like it's Kyle Busch's stage to win here with the 12 and the 20 behind. The 20 now trying to make a move, but he won't quite get there. Now here we go, coming to the line. It's going to be Kyle Busch winning stage 1. Now the 11 looking low. Will the 20 follow suit here and join up with his Toyota teammates? Now we take a look with Carson Hocevar in the middle of the pack. They're kind of getting squirrely back there, but we'll see what amounts of that. The 8 now in the top lane, probably clear of the 20, but he's not going to take a chance. He'll stay with the 12 of Ryan Blaney, who's been a good pushing partner all day throughout the pack. That outside lane starting to form pretty well as the 17 now joining, but the 8 goes low. That's an interesting move. Will he move back up there? Yes, he will. It's really just the top lane and the bottom lane right now. The middle lane doesn't have a ton of help, but that's where Kyle Busch is going to go here on lap 11. Now coming to lap 12. The 12 of Ryan Blaney is outside of him and looking to make a move for first. The pack starting to form now after the restart, and the 20 is going to get a huge shove from the 77 and try to get on the back bumper of the 8 car to push him ahead to the lead. But the 8 car has the 12 and the 11 looking for the lead. Now onto the back straightaway, the 20 almost got in the 12 there, but right now the pack's looking good, and here comes the 12 on the outside lane. He will take the lead by just a couple feet or so, but now back into turns 3 and 4, the 8 will retain the lead, and almost a push gone wrong there for the 20, but now the 11's looking inside. He might be able to take this lead. Now coming through the tri-oval, the 8 will regain his lead and pass for another lead lap for the 8 car. He has been dominating this race so far ever since pole winner Chase Elliott was taken out in that first wreck. The inside lane now making a move. The 11 could get clear of the 8 here with a good push from the 34 of Gilliland, but they aren't able to do it. The 8 and the 20 still on the outside. The Toyotas have been good pushers all day long, and the 8 will now retain the lead. The middle lane looks to be the dominant lane right now with 4 cars in it. Look at this. The 77 trying to go low there on the 20, but it couldn't quite work out as the 8 still retains this lead over the 11 of Denny Hamlin. The 20 goes to the top lane with the 12, who has fallen back pretty darn far here. But we're going to see what that amounts to as the 8 now taking a pretty comfortable lead. But now the 11 moving to the inside with a large push from Todd Gilliland. He'll take the lead now into turns 1 and 2. 77 now on the back bumper. The 8, he'll take him 3 wide. Through the middle, Carson Hocevar. What a move. He basically just forced Kyle Busch up to the middle, or up to the top lane, and he took it through the middle. Carson Hocevar now at P2. Kyle Busch still powerful on that outside lane with the 12 and the 20 pushing him, but the 11 and the 34 have taken a large lead over the rest of the pack. The 11 now looking to go up to the middle lane with Hocevar. That'll open up the door for Gilliland. Now he comes up in front of the 8 car, and he will lead this lap. Now on to lap 15 with 6 to go in the stage. Saw a little bit of smoke from the back of the pack there. Not sure what happened, but we're going to keep going as the 8 now pushing the 11 with the 20 behind him. The 34 and the 24 lead the inside lanes. What a comeback for the 24 of Byron after hitting the wall a couple laps ago. The 11 now in perfect control of each lane. He is your current race leader, and he started second. If you remember, he was the fastest car in practice, but now he's showing it in the race. As now there's a lot of squirreliness going on in the back of the pack. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a wreck here soon. These guys need to calm it down if they want to keep their cars clean, but we'll see what they can do as here comes the 11 now passing on to lap 16, excuse me. Now the 8 coming outside, trying to take that lead over the 11. But the 11 will gain it back. Look at that! The 34 gets into the 24, trying to take it 4 wide. They're able to save it. 4 wide for the lead right now as the 8 goes by the 11. They're making contact on the back straightaway. Around goes the 11. Up and over goes the 11. Barrel rolling down the back straightaway. Huge damage on that 11 car. Oh my goodness, what a wreck. Wow. Let's take a look at that replay here in a second. Look at the damage on the 11 car. Let's see where it started. It started here when the 34 and the 24 tried to take it 4 wide and then down the back straightaway. 34 just hooked the 11 and that sent him up and over. Oh my goodness. Horrible wreck. Let's take it from another angle of Carson Hocevar, Man, let's take a look at it in slow-mo. How many times did he go over? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times, and he lands on all 4s. He's lucky to get out of that one. Red flag has been drawn here for Denny Hamlin. But now the caution flag has been lifted, and we will take it back green here in Daytona. Kyle Busch leads us out, and I do apologize for having some technical difficulties with our main camera, so we're going to have to stick with our secondary camera for now. But Kyle Busch look at the 17 of Chris Buescher here back in the pack, battling with Carson Hocevar, who was almost involved in that last wreck. But right now it's Busch, Byron, and Bell in the front of that pack, trying to keep control of it here as the pack is now starting to form. The 12 of Ryan Blaney goes up to the middle. Keselowski, we haven't said his name all day, but he takes the inside move on the 12 of Ryan Blaney as the 8 and the 24 are linking up on the top side. And we are going to just 2 laps to go in this stage. 2 laps to go in stage number 2. Busch has already won the first one. Will he win another one here? But the top lane looks to be forming with Byron, Gilliland, and Buescher. And we'll see if that can amount to anything, if they can make their way up to the point here, as Kyle Busch has taken a solid lead out in front of the rest of this pack. The 12 of Ryan Blaney continues to fall back as this outside lane seems to be dominating the race right now, other than where Kyle Busch is at. But Kyle Busch now taking a look up to the outside lane, and he will rejoin that pack there, or that lane, excuse me. With the 20 of Bell getting shuffled down to the inside. Here comes the 12 of Blaney. He's trying to make a move, but here comes the 24 on the outside. Can he pass Kyle Busch? Kyle Busch doesn't have any help, and the 24 has 2 cars behind him. And it looks like Byron will take the lead here going into turns 1 and 2, but I'm sure Busch won't have it, and he will try and get that lead back as they come here through turn 2. Now onto the back straightaway with the 34 behind the 24, and it looks like they will have the lead here pretty solidly as we come to the last lap of the stage, by the way. And the 24 moves down in front of the 8 to solidify his lead, and it looks like he will take it all the way to a stage win. The 24 has basically not been a factor all day long, but now here he is finding himself in a premium spot, making a block on the 8 of Kyle Busch, and the 24 of William Byron is your stage 2 winner. Now the outside lane starting to form again, but the middle lane also with Hocevar and Blaney is pushing Busch out to the lead, and Busch will retake the lead, but I don't think it'll last for long as the 8 decides to go low, and we'll see if the 24 and 34 have anything to say about that. The 24 currently leading the pack on the outside lane. He'll move down to the middle in front of the 12 of Ryan Blaney. Smart move as that lane has been good, but now he goes in front of the 8 of Kyle Busch. What will that do with the 20 behind him pretty far? They don't have much help compared to the other 2 lanes who are kind of tandeming here. We only have 8 cars left in this race, so they have to be careful. They can't use too much of any of their stuff, as they need to keep it clean for the rest of these laps. The 24 now through the middle, trying to keep the lead here with the 12 Ryan Blaney on his back bumper. He's trying to control all 3 lanes here. But look at this, they're getting slideways a little bit. And yes, I did just say slideways. The 24 controls the middle lane, but he's got 3 lanes to look for here, and he's got to block all 3. Now Todd Gilliland coming on the outside. There's really nothing he can do about that. Now with 9 to go here in the here in the race, the 24 is leading with the 8 on his back bumper. The 17 looks to have fallen back pretty much to last place, except for the old 6 of Brad Keselowski. I don't know where he went, but he's back there somewhere. There he is. He's behind the 17, his teammate. That's actually probably a good thing for them. As here we go, 8 to go in this race. The 24 still keeping control of this lead with the 8 now on the inside, trying to make a move for the race lead. Sorry, this is my first time announcing. I'm kind of tripping up over my words, but I'm going to keep trying. Here's the Fords trying to mount a charge on the outside with the 34 and the 17. The 24 trying to control the middle lane right now, but that won't work as the 8 will see low on the inside as the 34 smacks the wall on the outside. Looks like he got a little loose there, and he'll lose a few positions after that. But who will it be to the line? It will be the 24 of William Byron. Now coming to 7 to go in this race. Byron, Busch look like the strong cars here. Blaney, of course, has been a factor all day, and so is Christopher Bell. They're right now top 4. As we look at Byron on the outside of Ryan Blaney, as Kyle Busch has taken this lead and has kind of run away with it. But now the 34 giving a huge shove to the 24, and he will now be in the point now coming into turn 3. The 20 on the back bumper of the 8 and the 34 on the back of the 24. Who will prevail here in Daytona as we only have a handful of laps remaining? The 8 now trying to control all lanes of traffic here as he moves to the middle. Going to try and block the 24 and the 20, excuse me. As we now have a top lane forming above them, the 34 of Gilliland and the 17 of Busher. Look for that lane with the Fords to be pretty strong here. The Fords like it at super speedways, I'll tell you that. And there's still 4 of them left in the field with 3 Chevys and 1 Toyota. The 8 now controlling the race on the top side with the 34 and the 17 behind. Now the 34 gives him a huge shove, and he will go to the point. But here comes the 20 on that inside with the 77 on his back bumper. The 20 now controlling the race. Now he goes to the middle lane, but it looks like the 8 car and the 34 got a pretty good run there off 3 and 4, and they will take the lead. 5 to go here in Daytona. Closing the gap to the end of the race, and it's pretty much a toss-up of who's going to win it. The 8 car has been strong all day. The 24 now has been mired back in the pack. He's back there in, I don't know, 7th, something like that. But, I mean, we've seen so many cars be a factor today. I really wouldn't be surprised if any of these guys won. As the 34, who's been strong in the top lane all day, he'll move to the middle. Will his teammate, not his teammate, but will his Ford Alliance join him? No, he won't. But I don't think that's a bad idea for Gilliland to stick it in the middle lane. Now the 20 taking control of this race. The 8 has no help on the top side, and it'll be the 20 leading. 4 to go in this race. The 77 of Hocevar on the back bumper of the 20. The 8 is starting to lose positions here, but here comes the 77 and the 12. Going to give a huge push. No, he won't. The 77 will go up on the top lane. I'm sorry, the middle lane with the 34 of Gilliland. But Gilliland's pretty far behind him. I don't know what kind of move that was, but we'll see if it works out for him. The 12 and the 24, 2 cars that have been really strong all day. Now they're moving back up to the front of this pack. Here comes the 12 now on the back bumper of the 20. He might look to make a move here. Coming to 3 to go this time by. The 20 now moves to the middle lane with the 77 and the 34. 3 to go now as it looks like Brad Keselowski has made his way up here into the top. But we'll see if he can keep it there. We got the 12 of Ryan Blaney on the low side with the 24 of William Byron. They now take the lead. Bell moved up to the top lane, but that was a bad idea. He's with Kyle Busch, who has moved far back in this pack after getting stuck on that outside lane a few laps ago. The 34 and the 77 still looking to try and make a move here, but right now they have no help. The bottom lane is dominating with 4 cars in it, with the other lanes only having 2. And the 12 right now looking strong, coming to 2 laps to go here in Daytona. The 24 is on his back bumper with the 6 behind him. The 6 is his highest position that he's been in today at 3rd place. And we're taking a look at this 34 car and the 77. Do you think it would be smart for them? I don't know. But yes, they are moving to the bottom lane. At least the 34 is. That's what I was talking about when I say, would it be a smart move if they move down there? But I don't know, because they have a lot of ground to cover up with only 2 laps to go. So maybe staying in the middle lane would have been smart. And look at this. Contact. The 6 and the 24 out into the outside wall. They come back down into the 17. No caution as they keep it straight. That opens the door for the 12 Ryan Blaney to take a big lead here with 1 to go here in Daytona. Let's crown us a champion. Now 17 and the 34 has made up a ton of spots after that little incident with the 24 and the 6. He's climbed his way up into 3rd now, passing the 6 of the 6 of Brad Keselowski. The 17 and the 12 controlling the inside lane, but will they try to make a move for something else? Yes, they will. Here comes the 12, now down to the middle lane. I'm not sure why he would do that. He just opened the door for Chris Buescher. Here they come, through turns 3 and 4 for the final time. The 12 getting shuffled out to the top lane. There's no chance he wins this one. It's the 17 and the 31st battle. Who will win it? The 17 washes up off turn 4. The 34 now has a look to the inside. Who will it be? Coming to line. I think it was Gilliland. The ticker says Gilliland. I believe Todd Gilliland is your 2026 RoNASCAR Daytona 500 champion. Let's take a quick look at the replay and see who really won it. Here it is, full speed. You kind of can't really tell there. In slow-mo, it definitely looks like Gilliland. Frame by frame. Yep, Todd Gilliland is your 2026 RoNASCAR Daytona 500 champion. And here he comes to do his burnout. Sliding through the grass is the 34. What a burnout. Reminiscent of Dale Earnhardt Sr. And here he comes. He'll come and park his car, hopefully close to the finish line, so the track people can come and interview him. But there he goes. Oh, he's burning out again. Another slide through the grass, and now up to the front stretch. And he'll park it. What a race for the 34 of Todd Gilliland, and what a race for the first ever on Grouch Racing Network, as the 34 gets his first career RoNASCAR Cup Series win, as that is the first win in RoNASCAR Cup Series history. And now here he is in victory lane, celebrating with his team as we take a look at the final results of this race. Your top 5 from today's race is Todd Gilliland, Chris Buescher, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch, and Brad Keselowski sneaking in there at the end. Christopher Bell, Carson Hocevar, and William Byron also finished this race, with Denny Hamlin and Bubba Wallace on back DNFing. A couple notable performances to talk about. Ryan Blaney in third. He was a factor all day long in this race. Expect him to be pretty good on super speedways this year. It's notable to say that Brad Keselowski made his way back up from starting near the back to being near the back all day long, and he made his way up to 5th there at the end. What a run from Brad Keselowski. Kyle Busch, Stage 1 winner, and William Byron, Stage 2 winner. They will be higher in the point standings than their results infer. Your DNFs in today's race: Denny Hamlin, Bubba Wallace, Tyler Reddick, Chase Briscoe, Josh Berry, and Chase Elliott, the pole sitter. Chase Elliott unfortunately involved in that wreck on lap 5. Let's have a look at your point standings, with Todd Gilliland in first with 23 after winning the race and finishing third in Stage 2. Kyle Busch in second, 3 points back, with Ryan Blaney third with 6 points back. William Byron, Stage 2 winner, 9 points back in 5th. And then the drivers that did not finish make up 9th through 14th. Thank you all for tuning in to the inaugural RoNASCAR Daytona 500 here on Grouch Racing Network. I'm Mr. Groucho Funny. Make sure you like and subscribe so you see more races like this, and I'll see you guys in the next race. Goodbye.